don't tell me it only went live now. Well, I guess we are live and we have not been live before. What's happening? OBS, of course, opening. No, don't. Ah, okay, still going straight. What is this? Everything is disassembling. Well, slow outlap. I hope the stream works. I have no idea what happened, but I should be live now, right? I think I am live. LMU, I am live. Alright. Well, not ideal, but let me quickly say F1 warm-up at Le Mans Ultimate. Save. Alright. Stream title updated. Yeah, I don't know, I wanted to do the stream, well, first of all, good afternoon everyone. I was streaming into thin air for 5 minutes, happens sometimes. At least it's working now. So I can close this and chat is on and everything is working and FFB is dead. Reset, still dead. Reset again, now it's live, alright. Okay. Yeah, hi Pedro, hi Joao, hi Ibrem. I promised a COTA 2 hours stream for Sunday evening, but little did I know that there is a certain Formula 1 going on this weekend, so I figured out it's not gonna work. And then our dear friend at MSG, Mr. Dan, added another race at 5 CST. And then I figured out that tomorrow at 5 CST it's a bit too early for me, and because I'm probably not gonna be at home yet, so I said, well, I'm gonna stream today. But everyone seems to be more into sprint races, so I just went out of the weekly and into the dailies. So we are on softs, and Tiny Pedal plugin is a bit confused, so I'm just gonna... Anyway, let's add the letter and apply and save. And now we see that some people are on medium, some on soft. I'm probably on the wrong tire. And there is iRating today, yeah, I saw. Anyway, we'll have some fun. So, well, single quali run, let's go. So I just took the default setup and put rear wing 1 like last time, but today I also put -1 front corner springs and -2 at rear. So it's going to be less on the limit and it feels alright, but let's see if I get any top speed. 331, 2, 3, yeah, top speed is fine. A bit deep. The fault is rearing free for whatever reason. So yeah, I just went wing 1 and -1 front, -2 rear springs. Yeah, I talked to David. I saw he was... Oh, lock up. I saw he was working on the Lambo setup. But well, I just... well, I have one old Lambo Imola setup, but that's not gonna work here, obviously. But at some point I might take some Lambos for some proper clicking. Also, I have seen some Alpines in the top, in the leaderboard. And I was quite surprised because I thought Alpine is at least like a second of pace, but that is seemingly not the case. 24.4 from Grigoletto, that's fast. Yeah, we will struggle to match that. $25.8. Still comfortable P2, but well, that's quite a big pace difference to Fabio. Well, he's on the mediums. Mediums are 2 seconds per lap faster. So let's put mediums on for the race, and what was the fuel usage last time? Oh no, I cleared my log folder. So Alpine got patched or what? Anybody knows what fuel to take here? I used 8.3 liters. $63 is good. Alright. Hi Fabio, good luck. I'll try not to kill you in turn 1. I take +1 because I'm gonna be doing slower apex speeds and therefore accelerating more. Alright, well that surely sounds like Alpine has been patched at some point, but I've read that patch notes very quickly, so I must have missed the updates. But well, good to see that it's competitive. Anybody on hearts? Somebody, well, 2 people putting hearts on the front. Only Lambos and BMWs, well, and some Peugeots, and 1 Alpine. Cannot have pit limiter activated when standing still here, interesting. Okay then. What did I do with Slip TC last time? I think I increased a little bit. Brake bias was like 2 clicks to the rear or 3. Catch up, I'm catching up. I never know if being on the yellow stuff is good or not. Anyway. Copy. Well, I suppose it's not just the gearing, but like several other things. Daniela, I wanted to do the COTA race, but nobody registered. Like 5 people were in there, which is like on the verge of not even being an official race. Because like I think it's if it's 5 or less, it doesn't count even. But there were many sign-ups in the inters and dailies, so well I switched. Because this is more fun. But well, here we go. I hope I can stay with Grigolito. Slightly better reaction. Oof. I went to 3rd gear for some reason. Slipstream. Alright. We have at least some battle. That white line is annoying in the middle of the road. If you brake over it, the suspension will do weird stuff, and well, you will bottom and so on. I couldn't really safely brake later. Ooh, Fabio with the outbraking. Or was that strategic outbraking? Yeah, I don't like where this is going. Oh no. But he's got some overspeed. I think I touched him a little bit. Well, nice move. Now I have to stick somehow with him through the S's. I hope I have better pace than in qualia. I feared he's just gonna pull away. Half a point for that. Alright, I suppose I have some pace. full send through territory illusion, just hope that it sticks. But this Lambo does the job of sticking to the ground quite well, despite all the bottoming, or not bottoming, bouncing. Well, slipstream, let's go. Not close enough for a move. He's avoiding that first curb there, and then he just gets a better run through the chicane. Maybe I need to try to do the same. Well, not like that. I mean, for him, that was too far from the curb, obviously. And now, what's the best strategy? If I overtake him, he's gonna get me back. Now let's see if I have the sufficient top speed for a move. Its slipstream is quite nice. Too far. How are the tires doing? Quite overheaty. But still, I don't know, I'm yet to see hards working actually. Nice Lambo bouncing by both of us. Oh, that's a cut now. That used to not be a cut some updates ago. Too much on the limit, but maybe I can still pick up some slipstream. Well, a couple of milliseconds, it's something. He's struggling a little bit with this second Mulsanne chicane. I mean, overall he still gained a bit of time. Weird to see slipstream almost completely dying at half a second. Hi Lunatic. Well, Lambo seems to be fast. Well, this is basically still the default setup, just with rear wing 1 and slightly softer suspension. Oi. Well, I mean, I had the BMW high downforce setup ready for today for COTA, but that race didn't get any interest. The pace is just perfectly matched. But yeah, the gap is increasing, the gap to him, like millisecond by millisecond on the straight. That felt nice, avoiding the curb on the right side on the braking zone. Not best. Now I lost any kind of slipstream. Oof. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I gain a little bit in corners, but then he just gets everything back on the acceleration zone. I mean, these default setups are supposedly good, but sometimes they are really not optimized. I mean, just looking at the rear wing and somebody putting it to 1, I can just assume they are not really targeted at any good pace, but just to be drivable. But I mean, Le Mans setup has to be drivable on rear wing 1. Anyway, I try to close the gap. I think the suspension is just too stiff overall, and then the rear is too high and just gives more drag, but maybe a little bit more downforce in high speed. Feels like I should maybe increase front ARB or decrease rear. Driving those bouncy cars is such a challenge always. Just it requires so much more of input. Usually that's the case for any car at Sebring, but with Lambo you get that experience everywhere. But yeah, for sure, any custom setup, like if you know what you're doing and if you don't go too soft, yeah, not too stiff, not over soft. What is happening with this car? Then you can easily gain a lot of mechanical grip. I think now in Sector 1 I'm just holding on for dear life, trying to find any kind of traction and lateral support from the car. That was a scary moment for Fabio in P1, but he managed to unlock the tire. Yeah, lunatic. I mean, that's how Le Mans has to be, right? You just survive somehow through Porsche curves and optimize it for the straights and for mechanical grip. And this setup that is by default on the car is everything but what it should be. But looks like Rigoletto had a moment as well. I gained a bit of time. But it's really good through Tertre Rouge, at least. I always get good support from the rear and the front grips. Well, Pedro, that's one of the most fun kinds of racing. That doesn't include actual battling. Just battling lap by lap with lap times. Quali 23 minutes, yeah, that's good. That's very respectable. On the downshift, from third to second, it just hand-braked it. Lost 4 tenths because of that, that's a shame. I just needed a little bit more rotation and it gave me a big snap. Lambo stuff indeed. Might be the differential preload that's quite low. RIP Peugeot. Copy Lunatic. Well, I plan to do the Spa and then maybe the beginner races. Let's see how much time I have. I have more grip on the front, but if I turned in more, then I would be into the wall. Big sand. So this is last lap now. Well, I'm at least gonna try making one clean lap without a cut. Let's see how fast the pace can be. Now the traction is lacking. I have completely overdone it. Yeah, maybe in that case the hards could be beneficial even. It just felt like iRacing kind of. Suddenly all the grip was gone. But again, those temperatures here are just like... nobody knows what those temperatures are. Which layer in the tire, inside the tire, they are from. Well, I guess some people know, but... Ooh. Okay. Feels like some damper broke on the car or something. It's suddenly completely undrivable. Maybe it's just the rears wearing more than the fronts. And the setup is already in the limit. Thank you, Lunatic. Enjoy the dinner. And the F1 after the dinner. Honestly, this feels like as if it's required to kind of blip the throttle on the downshifts into some corners. Well, Joao, but that's a surface temp, right? But you have surface temp, you have rubber temp, you have carcass temp. Then you have like a couple of layers of the tire, and then it's hard to know what layer exactly is important and what, when you see the optimal tire temperatures, to which layer they correspond to. Well, the last time I was at Le Mans and I said that I'm gonna try to do the fastest lap, I ended up in a barrier without an engine and without a tire, so this time I'm at least still pointing into the correct direction with no damage. Let me talk after I finish. I guess on rear wing 3 it's a lot better, but how am I supposed to be fast at Le Mans with rear wing 3? Well, don't give me a drive-through now, okay. Alright. It's a P2 with almost the full setup, so I'm happy with that, but congrats to Fabio. And we jump straight into the next one, which is in 4 minutes, after we see the results. Yeah, the results are gonna take 3 more minutes anyway, so that everyone crosses the finish line. So let's go to intermediate. Now the question is, it's either the wet spa or the GT Sprint Cup. I have done this one already, and I kind of wanted to do the spa one, so I think I'm gonna do this one. And it's fixed setup, so we will have some less problems. Register. And wait, did I drive now with 380? Maybe that's the source of my issues. With the Lambo, I think I normally run like mid 400s. So now the steering was a lot more aggressive. It would be nice if it was possible to like save like these degrees corresponding to each car, and so that it would get saved actually. Nice job, Fabio. No, it was alright from you. Really good battle. Do I have time to join? Let's try to join. 2 minutes. I just didn't have the pace, or maybe I will blame the setup. The setup was too slow. You tried the same hypercars as VEC, but with their original physics. Wait, what? You tried the same hypercars? The ones that were doing faster lap times than Formula 1. I remember like some mid-40s lap times at Spa, which was like extremely crazy. Hi Christ. We have the Spa bug with flashing, but should fix itself. Is this damp enough for... It's damp, so this is slicks. And if it stays damp... Yeah, then I won't... we have... Wait, softs? Yeah. Tiny pedal. Config, units and symbols. Let's remove the hards and remove the softs. I don't know if you guys can see with this lighting, this window. But all I'm doing is just fixing these tire compound symbols and save it, and then it shows the... Like, it knows what the sets of the tires that are actually available are. This is gonna be fun. Fabio, alright, well, I gave you easier life there. Okay. I mean, in last 2 laps my tires decided that they don't want to tire anymore anyway. Teach me how to drive damp. Well, in LMU you don't have puddles and aquaplaning yet. There is basic physics implemented to have wet lines, but they have not like put the correct parameters yet to make it actually better to use the wet lines. So just normally stay on the dry lines and just drive as if there is much less grip. In LMU and RF2 it's mostly just the grip multiplier, and when the track dries out, the default settings are still quite broken, so you don't have a drying line, or you have it maybe for a lap or 2, but just the overall evaporation is so strong that, well, just always kind of stick to the racing line, and then you can just drive faster and faster when it starts drying up. But there is no real rocket science, just you have to feel for the limit of grip, and always remember, if there is less grip you have to put brake bias to the rear quite a lot, like, I don't know, from 53 to 48 even. Start slick but wetness 15%, alright. That's, yeah. Well, let's see, I mean, 15% is slightly wet, right? Alright, Daniela. Well, there is no cold tire simulation in RF2. I don't think you can really implement it. If it's slightly wet, then it's right in between wets and mediums. Ah, the bug. Will it disappear? Sometimes it does. This time it will not. Don't tell me. Okay. Sometimes the escape button doesn't work anymore. Okay. We are alive. Ooh, bonk. Otherwise we would have to Alt F4 or even Task Manager or even restart PC. I saw people struggling with those bugs still. Daniele, I mean, I have them. I guess Jimmy just puts on an upgrade file at the top of them anyway in the VEC workshop. But I don't think I will really try them. I'm kind of reluctant to drive anything if I don't need to. So we will have 2 laps. And it's dump. The flashing again. That's difficult. Okay. Even with eyes closed, it was still coming through the, well, whatever is this called that covers the eyes. Green, green, green. Now the track is dry. So if it's completely dry, then I do it like normally, DC8 and 2. To be honest, it will be always difficult to drive anything else. Well, to drive hypercars in anything else but LMU. Because LMU just simulates them so well, and also with the hybrid and everything. Nothing else comes close. Now the rain. The rain begins. That's interesting, because now the tires will be heating up and gaining grip, but rain will be reducing the grip, so... interesting. Or intriguing to see which lap is gonna be faster, the first or the second, or the third if we get the third lap. I lead. Of course. Yeah, VC, I mean, which tire else can you use, right? I mean, can you get the newer tire model at all if you're a modder? I don't think it was ever publicly available. Except if you were employed by Rennsport, then you had access. I saw AC Evo, but well, I didn't try it myself, obviously, because I'm at home. But I talked to a couple of guys, including my teammate Jesper, who is at the expo, and it seems we can still be quite hyped. It seems to be better than AC or ACC. Track limits? Really? Well, luckily the warning went away. This setup has so much grip and such a nice balance. But the rain is picking up. No. Lifted enough to avoid the cut. It's just raining enough to give the false sense of wetness, and then you try to expect that the car will not stick, and then it actually doesn't stick because it recognizes your weakness and your fear. But it's still completely dry. Yep. Of course. I still had a bit of fear remaining. Well, one more lap. Well, it says damp, but let's see how good the sectors are. Yeah, Daniela, I fear of that as well. Let's see. I plan to stream it on day 1, to be honest, so quite hyped. So it is a bit damper now. But this setup is so much more stable than any other setup that we had on this car after the update. I think the rear spring rate has been reduced. Okay, so 1 second down. But I will gain a lot because I will not spin in the bus stop now. Famous last words. I think I just broke too late before. What is going on there? Oh well. Not going to be P1, but it's P4, alright. Yeah, well, the pace is there for P1, so it's gonna be a fun race. But that last chicane... It's so weird, like always in RF2 or LMU, this last chicane just produces the biggest of rear snaps for no reason. But let's see if I'm correct. Maximum rear spring rate. I was wrong. Well, that's the reason for the snap. And I think the front... Yeah, the springs are just too stiff. Just too stiff. Where's my calculator? Ah, it's in the kitchen. So I used 3.5. So 25 times 60 divided by 127-ish. Let's say it's gonna be 13 laps times 3.5. 45, 46 liters. And then let's see the wetness. Yeah, probably it would be easy pole if I didn't bin it. But oh well. Happens. I mean, it wasn't easy pole because I didn't have the skill to make a pole position. 5% wetness. This is slicks. This is surely slicks. Yeah, I mean, then you have iRacing, and in iRacing that chicane is basically a flat out right-left, like it just feels there is extreme grip. But here you kind of understeer into the corner, front is giving up, but suddenly the rear just rockets around. But yeah, this is slicks. And it's gonna be drizzling now and then, but it will not get too bad, I think. And normally we would go backwards with the brake bias, but I was already locking the rear or losing the rear, so I don't think. Yeah, I'll just keep it stock. Let's heat up the brakes, because that's very important with the LMP2. Okay. The leader went off. Wow. I mean, the grip is not that bad. It's not great either. Yeah, probably Eau Rouge is flat out, but I just didn't dare turning in. Well, I was there at Spa for that 24-hour race, and before the 24-hour race start there were the European GT4s, and well, it was a huge grid, like with 50 plus cars, and I was sitting there at the bus stop at that grandstand. And yeah, they didn't have it easiest to hit the apex. Many went deep. Well, P1 is going for it. I need to regain a little bit of confidence, I suppose. And if you use enough of the curb on the right, then it's just stable. But the less you use it, the more you're gonna snap. Oof. Oh no. My suspension. That was not the first time that I saw that happening. Yeah, that's not great. I hope I don't have some additional drag. Well, top speed seems to be fairly good. I think it's just something to do with the traction control, and like it still just sometimes deactivates itself. It makes no sense. Like in low speed, it feels like it activates later in low speed. And then the poor guy locked up, tried to put down the power, lost the rear, and yeah, I was there to prevent him from going into the wall. That's the worst combination now. Track that is getting a bit wetter, slicks, and broken suspension. And I need to survive 20 minutes of that. And they are around. Okay. Making it easier for me. But I'm struggling to understand why they are locking up there. It's not... I mean, if you're on the default bias, it should be easy. I'm sure it is flat out, but the moment I try doing it flat out, I'm just gonna snap through ready alone and go into the wall. I don't need ready alone for a big snap, I see. That's not gonna be an easy race. I still have the DC Power Cut 5, yeah. Well, the track is damp, but I'm sure it's on the wetter side of being damp. But the tire temps are fine. This kind of flat out but slightly curved exits are the worst when you have a bit of damage. You try to correct it, but you never know how much to correct. And then the suspension keeps oscillating. It's a bit wide. Alright. Well, caddy is tricky everywhere, to be honest. In any condition. I lost a second this lap. And now I lost all the confidence in the car. Rain is stopped, okay. Where is my rotation? Just have to like force myself not to correct the car even if it wants to start sliding. Just be more gentle on the throttle. Well, LMVS, who knows? I just want to hear LMVS will happen on such and such a date, or like starting with this and this month. And then whoever, like as long as there are real life drivers, it's gonna be fine. Survived another Radilon. Just 9 more to go, or maybe 8. But the grip is surely improving a lot. But I will be under pressure very soon. And I'm so slow that this is not even a cut. I guess if I was this generous to prevent somebody from crashing into the wall by being in the middle, between him and the wall, in iRacing, let's say, then this would be already a DNF, I suppose. I saw you coming, dear slide. I didn't even react to it, I just turned into the corner because I knew it's gonna slide. I don't know. And I actually gained 3/10 last lap, okay. Do we have a chance here? I'm always gonna be losing a couple of tenths through Radilon. I mean, I wonder if damage is 100% at all here. Maybe in beginner races it's like 30%, and then intermediate maybe 50 or something. But then again, the damage model itself is really primitive. I wonder if any actual work has been made on that since F1 Challenge 99 to 02. Yesterday I watched a video on the EA Sports F1 2000, which was like the first official game that EA with ISI made like officially for F1. And then I noticed on the steering wheel the colors of the tire, like tire temps, you know, and tire wear. The green bar and the purple, pinkish, reddish colors, and it's exactly the same as in like all F1 EA Sports games, and in RF2 and in RF1 and everywhere. Like they just never updated it, and it always worked perfectly. So but yeah, damage model, probably similar story, but yeah, at some point it would be nice to have something at least a little bit more, I don't know, something that wouldn't make the racing worse, but that would make people more cautious. Because now, well, when I'm racing against somebody, I'm never scared of touching him. I'm scared of, well, making a mistake myself and losing it and crashing on my own. But running into somebody is not a big fear. Hi Fico or Fico or Fico, I don't know. That C letter is so tricky. But welcome to the stream. I'm doing well, although I'm doing slightly sideways. Because, well, as you see, the steering is a bit bent. But this is now a lot easier to drive with the damage when the water evaporated. It was really tricky for a lap or two. But now it kind of catches all the little snaps. And I keep doing purple sector too, so there is actually some pace remaining on this broken car. Fico, I knew it. Two purple sectors, wow. But if I get overconfident, I'll bin it instantly. I mean, I'm trying to build my confidence through Rouge with this steering now. It's kind of stable, but I still prefer to lift a bit. Sometimes having steering bent like this is absolutely nothing, and sometimes it really restricts the pace and induces drag and everything. I mean, I guess some kind of damage can give you like extra toe or camber, and then the whole car pulls like crazy into one direction. But maybe there is another kind of damage that just kind of reorientates the suspension geometry a bit and just dislocates something but keeps the tires pointing into the right direction. This is now flat out, okay. Nice. Well, I found the confidence and I found the pace. That's... Ooh! I thought there was something moving ahead of me, but I didn't really pay any attention. Okay. I just looked like at the gap and suddenly there was an LMP2 going across the track. Scary. Ah, feature, thanks a lot. Well, I'm glad you enjoy. I mean, I recently found out about my channel as well, like, I've not been streaming for too long, so I'm still kind of not exactly fully optimized, but this has been flat out and this is nice. Okay. I guess the track is fully dry now. Still says damp. But the pace is back and we have 3 more laps. Maybe 4? No, it should be 3. And I am feature, by feature you mean the Fiat 500, or is that some Croatian nickname that's not linked to the Fiat 500? And to all those who don't know what I'm talking about, we had, back in the days when there was still, when we were still under Yugoslavia, there was well, basically factory named Zastava which bought the blueprints for Fiat 500 and they made them, and there was not a Fiat logo but a Zastava logo, and they were called Fico, and everybody had them. Well, them and the Yugos and so on. Okay. Not gonna spin twice there. The quali was the first and the last one. Actually, this is going to be 3 more laps on this pace. Ah, alright. Yeah, in Slovenian the word Fico is only ever used for the good old Fiat or Zastava 500. Alright. Well, I mean, I always need a little bit of help, because I've been streaming for only half a year, and well, actually I did stream years ago already, but like maybe 1 race per couple of months. But I don't really have a specific question at the moment, apart from if you think I'm doing well. No, I'm always very appreciative of the feedback, and I'm trying to improve stuff. Well, this stream has maybe not been the best example of it, because I started to stream and after 5 minutes I realized the stream is not even live, and I don't know how that has happened, but alright. And then we had to change the plans and move from the COTA 2 hours, which I wanted to do, to the daily races, because supposedly everybody is so fed up with COTA already from watching the F1 free practice and so on, that they don't want to drive it. I arrive into bus stop every lap, and then I realize at some point, oh no, a snap is happening. I'm just gonna keep straight lining the entry. Well, P2 and P3 are on the same pace, but probably it's too late for them to catch up. I don't know if there was a snap coming or not. I felt something in the broken suspension and I just had to react to that. Well, I mean, there are good news, there are bad news, but it's mostly... Oh, the rain is back. Well, one lap to go. I don't know, like, nothing has really changed, to be honest. Obviously, they need to release the content that's still upcoming as soon as possible. The GT3s and the official VR support, and the league system and, like, servers, private servers and so on. They need to release that as soon as possible and fix a couple of bugs and hope that enough people buy it so that it becomes profitable. But obviously, I mean, MSG, it started as like a crazy big project that will like put together all the sim racing esports and have games for each, like official games for each series, for IndyCar, World Endurance Championship, F1, Rally, NASCAR, like whatever. Maybe not Rally because that license is at EA. And then they realized that, well, stuff will never happen because they would need maybe times 10 the personnel or something, I don't know. So now they are just many millions in the debt. Or like their parent company has losses with them. They're not like a lone company. Although I think they are still owned by that motorsports network, right? But yeah, like if... I mean, as Studio 397 is still kind of intact, like they lost a lot of good people, but they still have a lot of good people, and it's still a fairly sizable company. Or fairly sizable studio, I would say, relatively to what some games have. I mean, I don't know how many people are actually fully employed there and how many are just on temporary contract, but yeah, if they get a little bit like I mean, if they have good leadership and like from outside, it seems like Stephen Hood, who is the CEO now, offers really good leadership. If that keeps going, then and if they somehow manage to have to disconnect from that debt, kind of, and if they actually sell into good hands, it should be like really good sim very soon, maybe in a year. But here we go, broken suspension, and it didn't stop me. But that was so weird at the start. Wait, it's already on the replay. So yeah, I mean, I really hope that the player base keeps growing and the people keep enjoying this and the bugs keep getting fixed. Because this is so much fun. What happened there? Just lockup of death, and then the rear stepped out. Ah, poor man. Wait, what happened with Roger? Ah, he was the one who spun into me, right? So that was me. And Roger goes off a little bit. I go for the inside, bonk. Such a quick spin, look at that, like it just it just rotated. Like in no time he was completely perpendicular to the track. He wasn't even on throttle much, like just a couple of percent, and that sausage Just turned him over. No way to react to that. And then we had some hairy moments while trying to figure out if the car is still drivable through Rouge. And then I defended, right? Wait, I think there was a crash at the bus stop, right? Thank you, Pedro. Wait, I saw a car. That's a weird one. That's TC not activating. Like it should, I think. And then they had... Ooh. That's the leader that went off at turn 1, right? And then rearwards into the barrier? No, he kept it out of it. And then here they had a big dive. Run wide. Try to rejoin. No. No, 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 no. Well, unsafe rejoin, right? What can you do if you're in this situation? Yeah, never even think of going right there. Like, you hear a car, he will probably take the apex because he cannot see you. And even if he leaves space, you will just T-bone him. Just go left, avoid the sausage, and lose less time. It's pain. So much carnage. Anyway. Let's quickly register for the next one. We have 1 minute to go. Oh no. Quick, 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 quick. Please load. Daily races. Come on. Come on. What? Of course. When there is the least time available, it's gonna troll me like this. Well, we go out. And online is grayed out. It doesn't even... Yeah, it just doesn't sync the database. It doesn't know that I'm logged in, like it doesn't recognize me. Exit to desktop. Wait, this one. Quickly try again and let's hope that I actually manage to register. Otherwise we're in trouble. Hello? It just takes so long online. Come on. Online. We have missed it. Well, we have missed it by quite a lot. What's up with my system clock? Like it's past now. Apologize. What should I do now? So the idea was to do maybe one more. Wait, what prototype fixed again? That's yeah, of course. The one is just gone. Is this one working? No, it's not. Okay. Well, what do we do now? So I wanted to do one more, but now this has happened again. So I cannot do one more. But what I could do, let's actually check. I mean, I'm not just gonna drive alone. And let's actually check if there is some RF2 online race that we can pick up. Because I wanted to do that for quite some time. But let's see. Anyway, let's update myself with the chat, because I'm the best professional streamer around and I have no idea what the chat has been saying in 10 minutes now I'm the worst. Yeah, I'm okay. Back to LMU. Yeah, the sim cannot die. It's really good. It's for sure in good hands, like good devs. So it would be a big shame to just let it die, and for sure it's companies can make it profitable. So what do we have here? Is this a new design or I'm completely out of 41 minutes 53 okay. Yeah. That's the problem with I mean, let's put it like this. That's why iRacing is so easy to pick up, or like so popular, because there are races. And here I cannot even switch to a different sim, even though it's kind of the same sim. Should I do some iRacing? Is there something that I can pick up in iRacing? Just for the 30 more minutes. So, okay. Well, thank you, Ficha, for the great race. And you said, as you're not logged in. I ran out of, everything is disassembling in front of my eyes. I ran out of the license. I would need to buy it because I ran out yesterday. Ah, okay. Let me do let me just do 3 laps of COTA in the practice server, and I'll do 5 minutes of talk and drive, and I think I'll just schedule my popcorn and my drinks for F1, even though F1 is only in 2 hours. But literally, like, yeah, that's one thing that has to get fixed, right? No races for 40 minutes. And one little mistake, one little bug, and I'm out of the sequence, and I cannot drive anything online. Anyway, I wanted to drive a little bit of BMW. I put BMW on the... What am I clicking now? Brain is fried. Online. Come on, online. Weekly races. And I'm just gonna load my BMW hypercar. 24. And I will load my setup and just do a couple of laps because I kind of wanted to drive it. And maybe get the feel of the 1% higher grip. Ah, yeah. So, so, okay. Feature, you asked, as far as you've noticed, you're racing on really high level. Yeah, I mean, depends on what, I mean, sometimes it's really high, sometimes it's a bit lower. But yeah, I mean, I'm kind of doing sim racing for a full-time job. Well, currently I'm together with the Rafa Racing Club, and they're kind of providing me with enough support so that I can keep doing streaming and developing my social media and so on. But the main plan was to do Le Mans virtual, but then it was kind of not organized yet because LMU is too slow. Wait, one thing. With every car, I first check chassis and I look, okay, wheel range is 390. So usually, no, I don't want to exit. I just want to go to settings and controls and calibrate and put it to like 450 to have a bit slower steering. And then FFB is dead. In True Drive it's dead. Yeah, I'm hours behind my chat. Sorry again. So yeah, about driving on a high level. Well, I did win a Le Mans virtual race. Not the Le Mans one, but one of the series races and so on. So at some points I was, well, very high level. Sometimes maybe a bit slower, but although like I could blame myself not ever being part of Team Redline or some team like that, so we were always on the back foot a little bit. But well, we did good job with Burst Esport in previous years, and now we're trying to build something together with the Rafa Racing Club. So these guys are on the latest CPUs. I'm still Pentium. If I may still comment on that, even though Pedro, you wrote about that much time ago. Well, at the moment I have on almost empty track 200 FPS on lowest details and a little bit of texture filtering, or actually I have 8x filtering and 8x anti-aliasing, and it's barely holding up, and in a race situation it's stuttering quite a lot. So yeah, it's 12,600K, and if I open up my OBS I suddenly lose 100 FPS. So it's not the latest gen, but it's not that old, but yeah, I don't know, I couldn't trace on anything that's even marginally slower than this. Have I done much running at COTA for the weekly? Not really. I mean, I did a race like 2 weeks ago or something, when this was a special event, I suppose, or maybe it was the launch event, or maybe like 1 week after the launch event. When I mean, I streamed that, like I had a race-long battle against David, and David was in Peugeot, I believe. So basically I have just like a setup from there. But the start, like I think the quality of that race was wet and then it dried up. And I didn't know really how to drive it. Because like here you can use, or like you have to use some of the anti-cuts. But I can quickly check how the pace is. But I had the logs deleted. I suddenly realized I have my SSD like 70% full, and I went into panic mode and I launched my WinDirStat program that shows which files are the biggest, and I just deleted everything. Now it's like half empty, or like even more, maybe 40% full, but I don't have the log anymore. Christ, you miss RF2. Well, I will be streaming some RF2 in... that was a nice understeer. I need to put brake bias. I will stream RF2 because there will be Virtual Endurance Championship race. I think in 2 weeks' time. We will have 8 hours of Monza. And we will drive the McLaren GT3, and it's gonna be good fun, I hope. Right, so let's see, now the tires are kind of up to temp. So let's figure out if the grip is good. I could try a quali lap or two, because before I think the absolute record was like high 50 in quali. But for sure I can feel the extra grip. Maybe not there. But it's a bit better. And let me update myself fully on the chat now. How do I feel about car handling when I jumped from LMU to iRacing? So, well, I talked about doing some iRacing in the recent days or weeks. And actually, the reason why I have not streamed that much this week, I will just, well, I will have streamed... Wait, what English tense is that? I will have streamed, I think it's correct. I will have streamed the previous Tuesday and today. No, I don't think that's correct English. So on Tuesday, and I thought I would stream just today or tomorrow, so that's only 2 streams. But basically I'm preparing for that IMSA Global pre-qualifying in iRacing, because we will try with Jesper to qualify for that on iRacing, and it's gonna be very difficult, but we will do our best. So I have been driving a lot of iRacing this week, and I've driven the GT3 Mercedes around Indianapolis, and yeah, it's basically spring FFB. Like, there is no FFB. FFB is just curbs sometimes, but mostly it's just centering spring, or like a sponge. It's nothing, like absolutely nothing. You get more info about what the car is doing from the sounds. You hear the tires squealing, but then you don't know what to do with the tires. Like, you need to kind of rotate. The front doesn't have any grip. You try to load the fronts a bit, they are instantly melted. You try to rotate by the rear. It's kind of nice, but the delta is dying, so like it's just impossible to know what to do with the car. But we will see next week how competitive we are. But for sure, if I had a choice, I would just drive LMU or RF2. But, I mean, I have enough experience after all these years that it's not difficult to jump from one car to another. I kind of developed some subconscious system that just opens like a drawer per sim or per car for each sim. Well, that was a very beautiful LMDH moment. Anyway, it's 50-9. Let me remove the fuel and see how fast this is going in quali trim. Yeah, ACC, I kind of like ACC FFB to some extent. Issue is that when I tried to esport ACC, by that I mean like being fast in actual big competitions or comparing the lap times to what people are doing over there, it just felt impossible to do what it required. Like the operating window of the tire was like huge. It was extremely easy and very intuitive to be very, very consistent and like within 1/10 every lap. Like the lap times were crazy good, but they were all like 8/10 of pace, and at no point in any corner, whatever I did, I never gained even a tenth. Like I just didn't understand it. And then maybe one time in one corner I felt what I needed to do, but it was just so incredibly difficult. I mean, I didn't ever have any setup understanding for ACC, but just for like casual racing, it's very nice. Like relatively to sims and relatively to iRacing. I still prefer RF2 and LMU, to be honest. Well, about range sport, I think initially they made some adjustments so it wouldn't feel too much like RF2, but then they progressively made it more and more same as RF2, because range sport is basically copy-paste of RF2. So yeah, it feels very good because RF2 feels very good. And yeah, that's the issue with the old tire model and old RF2 GT cars. You just needed to make the steering much more reactive, like reduce the wheel range and so on. and then just turn like crazy because of that dead spot. I heard about that TC0, but what happened with that? Why is that the meta now? I heard that people were doing TC0, but that if you did that, engine just cut power. Is that not the case yet? Or is it then the case that they just always drive with 0 and then you don't have the power cut because you stay at 0? I mean, I can only blame Kunos for making traction control absolutely useless. Like in LMU, TC is like it's really efficient. It's crazy good. First gear, floor it with very high TC, and you will not really lose any lap time. Maybe a 10th. I mean, 10th is a lot, but 10th. I am locking up so much. 10th is like absolute optimal compared to like fully restrictive. Yeah, pre-patch it was... I saw like, I think a Ferrari lap time with high 50, but most cars were like 51.0. And Toyota should be quite good around here because of... Well, it's good in high speed and in corners in general. Okay, my tires are now up to temp. Let's see what this BMW can do then. Well, iRacing is good if you underdrive a lot. But as soon as you approach any kind of limit, the simulation breaks. And I'm really looking forward to their updates that they are promising. Yeah, I mean, I know about Toyota. Yeah, it's dead on the straight for sure. So that is 51.2. Have fuel for one more. Let's see if the tires survive one more lap. Take the anti-cuts. I think I would need to adjust my setup to the higher grip levels. I'm kind of understeering a lot now. But I don't know what exactly I would have to do. Maybe just increase rear anti-roll bar. But well, like, with just a clean lap it's already 51.2, so I can easily see myself doing low 50s. And Aurelian with 50.9. That's a good lap. Maybe I have too much rear wing. Let's try just one more ARB. Let's try to avoid the bug. And see if that's a bit better. And brake bias quite a lot more to the rear. 49s will be possible. Yeah, I can imagine, yeah. I mean, 1% grip. Like, there is a way to kind of estimate how much 1% grip affects everything. But kind of 1%, meaning around 1 second, is reasonable. So Daniela, you mean two outlaps? I could try that. I saw a little bit of that stream from Michi, and I heard that you did many dive bombs, but it was still impossible to gain the position. Yeah, I think I missed so much messages still. I was up to date, I was doing good job reading and communicating with my dear chat, and then the silly game bug happened. And then I just lost it all. Two outlaps, I mean... I don't really know about these double outlaps. Like, it would require some big esports event, so people would be actually... so that it would actually make sense for people to try multiple different kinds of preparing the tires. But, you know, the track temp is quite hot. 48.5, so... So that was one slow outlap. Let me do another kind of slow-ish outlap and then see. I have enough fuel anyway. Well, Daniela, I guess so. No, the thing is that there is some sweet spot for well, streamers that don't have much viewers, but still have enough viewers, so that it's actually possible to communicate with everyone and have a nice discussion all the time. And that's really like a good spot to be in. Well, not when it comes to being a profitable business, but just like from the fun perspective. Yeah, I mean, Daniela, I would really have to properly test it. I never really looked into it systematically. All that I know is that if tires are above 75-ish, that then kind of they offer optimal grip. And actually now I'm on 62, so let's try another outlap. Also, before I forget, I will put TC cut to 2, because for some reason I had it saved at 1, because BMW is kind of good on traction or something, or TC cut is just cutting so much. Maybe slip angle on 8. Yeah, now it's 64, 66. One more outlap and then I should have 2 push laps. Pressures are not going too high up anyway. I'm waiting on my X3Ds as well. I've read some headline that the 9800X 3D could be released in October already, so I'm waiting for that. But again, like, if I have 180, 190 FPS at the moment. If I closed OBS, I would have instantly close to 400. Well, because I have 3080 RTX, which is a pretty good GPU. But the CPU is just working overtime, and everything is completely bottlenecked by the CPU. But in these conditions it's perfect, but as soon as we go into quali session or race session, it just feels like I have 60 FPS or even less. Which is alright, but from sim racing perspective, it makes it difficult. Because sometimes you actually need more than, like, it's not just eye candy, right? It slows down your reactions, and at top level you actually need those reactions and those extra info. And then I read people writing that above 400, about 144 FPS, if you have 144 Hz monitor, you're not really gaining anything. But if I go from 150 to 200 FPS, I notice like it's a big difference already. Anyway, I didn't manage to hit up the tires, so let's try pushing a bit more. And that's a lockup. This BMW hates Apex. I mean, that's something I realized last time when racing it. Trail braking with this car is a big no-no. Just release the brake fully, even 10% will induce some locking. And with fully released brake, it just rotates so nicely. But, well, that's assuming you have slowed down the car enough. Well, yeah, Dalibor, I'm far away from having mods that would run the stream for me, of course. Maybe one day, if I manage to be funny enough or interesting enough, but I mean, what can I say with... If LMU goes into correct hands and if it produces something really good, and the online system keeps being good, and if leagues pick it up, and suddenly it has 5k viewers, then it's already halfway there to iRacing. And then if I stay on top of it, then it's kind of a good business model. Maybe, although you cannot really count on it, you cannot really base your career around it, so till then I will have to stream a little bit of iRacing as well in the future months. Anyway, temps are kind of up. Let's see the pace. The car didn't like that apex curve at T1. Interesting. Yeah, that's I guess part of that one complaint that many people have over feeling into low speed corners. Because yeah, now rotation was like it was crazy good. The rear rotated so much, it just completely over rotated even before I was on throttle. And then I just for the sake of it went fully on it. But the pace, the delta was not any better, so... I would probably then keep ARB at lower. And just, yeah, I would have to do more practice. But, no, I think high 50s is easy. And then with some setup clicks and practice, yeah, I can see 49, probably 49.9. But anyway. Actually, when is Formula 1? In 2 hours, right? If the LMU... You know what? I want to do one COTA race. I will register for this. And I will go full American. And I'll take the Corvette. And I'll join the practice. I cannot just do... Ah, it's in 1 hour, alright. Ah, tomorrow it's 1 hour later, right? Tomorrow it's... yeah, I kind of mixed up everything, but... I guess I just about have time for this. And then straight into F1. I'll try to drive fast. Probably not best time to stream though, because everybody is looking at Sky F1 and so on. But anyway, I really wanted to do at least one race here. Okay. ...360 Hz monitor, Dalibor. Well, I mean... Let's see next year. At some point I want to replace this good old 49-inch monitor. But I would for sure need to... Like, I want one that's a bit more curved. But and that has a 144p resolution. But I would need then to upgrade the whole PC, not just the GPU. So, because this is a GT car, I will go to controls and put it to default. And let's fix our camera position. Daniela, you're sure GT3s will be extremely popular? Wait, there are some... do you have good internet to host 5,000 people stream? Yeah. Speaking of that, on Monday we have the 1K sub party, right? If you guys didn't see it yet, I have scheduled a live stream, and there is all necessary info in the description of that stream. And I hope, I mean, I have no idea, maybe there will be 20 people, maybe there will be 80 people. I hope for the best, but internet connection should be fine. There will be 2 servers anyway. Thousand people on stream, you know? If that's how subs would work, that would be beautiful, right? 1,000 subs, 1,000 viewers. What more can you ask for? Well, we have 10 more minutes to race, so let me just quickly put softs and hards into the overlay and save. Alright. And let's do finally some more COTA. Actually, there has been quite many people in the server. Maybe the registrations or signups have not been as high as 1 or 2 hours ago, but quite many people are still doing this, so I guess many are planning to go straight from this into F1. Time to remember what lap times are typical for GTs around COTA. Oh, that's bright. That's oversteer. But if I put it to the front, I'm gonna lock up. Oh, that's a cut. Yeah, with the GTEs, you just have to abuse the cuts as much as you can. Like, the anti-cuts are just not there, basically. The track is only limited by the cut system. Why was that a yellow cut? I saw a couple of messages now that I missed before. What is Le Mans Virtual exactly? A single 24-hour race or a championship? Well, in the past we had both. The first one was just Le Mans Virtual. It was just one 24-hour race. But then after that we had Le Mans Virtual Series, which had 4 or 5 races. And then it ended with a 24-hour of Le Mans. So I don't know, in 22 I think it started with Bahrain, which we have won with Van Valburst team. And then there was Spa, Monza, Sebring. Is there something else? I cannot remember. Like September, October, November, December. And then in the middle of January we had the big one in the end, with Max Verstappen joining and Rage uninstalling RF2. And the fate was decided. I don't think this is rear locking up, it's just the rear becoming so loose over the elevation change. How much more? 5 minutes to the race. I really need to update that system clock. For some reason my Windows has never been good at syncing the actual time. So after like 1 or 2 months it's just 2 minutes late or 2 minutes early or whatever. And I had the same issue forever on different computers. Not sure if just like Slovenian internet or IP or whatever is causing that. Completely unable to sync the Windows time. So just need to keep doing it manually. Super weird. Is last name actually a surname that makes sense in some language? Or has he just put his name into there? Wait, I had purple sector 1 and sector 2, but I'm still 2 seconds of pace. Was I that slow in sector 3? Man, I never liked this track, but this version in LMU, combined with these cars, it just somehow clicks. I mean, it's still not my favorite at all, but It's just fun to drive. Even on default setup. I have to say this default setup on the Corvette is quite good and quite rotatey and still kind of stable. And my now my chat has not oh come on. My chat was stuck in the past. Oh, rumble motors, yeah. I have that on. And I have it on maximum sensitivity, so I immediately get the rumbling, and yeah, that's super helpful for sure. About Joao, you mean the Windows time probably. I have it on auto, yes, but it never syncs. It always fails to sync. It keeps syncing and it never syncs. Can I turn down the brightness a bit? Of course. Actually, let me park here. I don't know. I think the brightness was fine before, but because of the lighting here, it just all died. I have to put gain to minimum, and it's still bright. It should be alright now. I think it's alright. I mean, these settings again, like I can turn off PC and turn it back on, and suddenly I will need different numbers. I don't know how it works. Some time ago I needed to have the gain around the middle, and suddenly after some PC restarts I needed it to be at 0. I don't know. Anyway, I think it's time to actually escape, go to main menu and join the server. Windows being Windows happens a lot. I see, Jakub, if you're still here, I finally managed to read your message. I actually had same thoughts, going from 12,600 to like 14th gen, but well, then I read the news about Intel CPUs of 13th and 14th gen melting themselves. And well, now that's supposedly updated, but you can never know which CPU had been well, melted before before the updates. And then again, you need more cooling, you need better power supply. If you are kind of marginal now, so I just thought, well, maybe it's not worth it. So now I'm just suffering with a bit poor frame rate. But at some point I will have it better. Hi Vojta. Where are all the cars? Is that a bug? Or are people still joining? I guess I was one of the first to join somehow. Yeah, I guess I have kind of gone through the messages that I have that I have missed before. Feel free to ask again if I didn't respond to something. I mean, they are all good messages. Wait, Daniela, Nordschleife, what? What is going on there? There was way more than 10 signups. Why is there only 10 people in the server? Are LMU servers kind of freaking out today or what? I couldn't register for one race because it didn't update my info. It didn't make me online. Nürburgring. Ah, yes. Nürburgring was in the first season. That's one of the most painful races in my life. We were so fast. We were the best on track. And then it was red flagged in the exactly wrong time. I guess I said about that race many times in the past. But if that was not a red flag round, we would have won Season 1 LMVS with... Well, it was Bike-Wallace back then, right? It wasn't Vanval yet, I think. No, it was already Vanval. Vanval powered by Bursty Sport. We would have won the season overall. But it wasn't to be. I mean, we were still P3 in the end in Season 1, so that's still right, but... I think P1 was Redline, P2 was Coanda or something. So it would be quite something to have, like, Bike-Wallace Burst, and then Redline, and then Coanda. I mean, I would like to... I wouldn't like to erase it from memory, because it was overall, like, it was probably the most fun I ever had in esports in my life. Ever since lap 1 of practice, when we loaded those Oreca LMP2s and started driving around Nordschleife, it was such a huge fun, because, well, the GT3s are the fastest thing that normally gets driven around there. But that LMP2 with... I mean, it was before the latest update, so it still had kind of LMP1 lap times and LMP1 power and so on. It was flying. The downforce was insane, and because it was RF2, it handled the bumps extremely well. And it was so much fun to drive. And it was especially nice because then we had like Tom Dillman and Bent Fiscal, the real-life drivers, and they were on it, they were flying. We just had so much fun on Nordschleife. And then again in the race, like, we did everything right. And we were leading and everything. Apart from that one lap per stint, because of the off-sync strategy of Mercedes, who then won because the red flag was exactly in that lap. So yeah, overall it was really good fun, and I kind of want to race Nordschleife again in esports, in high downforce cars. Until then, we have these 2 quali laps now around COTA, so let's make some purple sectors. I broke early, I expected the snap, but I still couldn't avoid it. Maybe still cold tires. Yeah, kind of cold tires. Take the anti-cuts. don't cut. This curb here, like in hypercars, you can just go straight across it. In GTEs, you cannot. I cannot understand how that can be the case. And we are sliding. Yeah, I suppose I just need to slowly build up the tire temps and have a better go in the next lap. What is going on there? That setup is very esports. Wait, I need to put brake bias maybe to front a bit. Actually, I haven't driven this car for quite some time. I guess it's just a property or like a trait of the car to be like that. So what's that gonna be? 0.5? 5.4? So one second to find. The rear surely wants to rotate a lot. So 3 more tenths. 3 more tenths is feasible. Well, this track model is very recent, but those final F1 changes that they have done this year for the track limits instantly made it old. Especially that curb on the exit of penultimate corner. Anyway, that was quite easy pole in the end. Just had to put a lap together. But the Corvette just has a lot more front downforce. I've driven the Porsche last time around here. And the Porsche was absolutely dead when it came to front downforce. It just didn't turn. But the Corvette is super rotatey. As we have the COTA going on and on and on. So eventually, okay, it's only one split, so that's interesting. I thought there were more people in there. But I guess many are already gone watch F1. So F1 is in 34 minutes, right? Did I understand correctly? Not the race, but the sprint. Yeah, must be, yeah. And then quali is at 0 AM. Or no, 0 AM. Yeah, after midnight. I always have to think twice of that 0 AM or like 12. It's not 0 AM, it's 12 AM. 12 AM and 12 PM, that's the most confusing thing when it comes to English. Q at midnight, yeah, alright. Okay, I didn't really check what fuel I need. I think 40 should be fine. I don't know, I take 53. It doesn't matter for GTs anyway. Let's move those things away, like this. Out of line, of course. The start here is quite tricky because the starting line is so early. And then most of the grid is still in the last corner. Ooh. Out of line, copy. I keep messing up the pit limiter just before the start today. Well, I'm just gonna park it on the very inside. I don't trust. And it was a good decision anyway. Although if there was some wrecking ball coming from behind, I would have got collected anyway. Oh, the Ferrari has some downforce, I see. Then surely the Corvette has to have some top speed, right? He's going for it, of course. Miss shift, no. Well, where is my top speed then? Should have defended. Well, yeah, at least we have a race. I mean, good point. But I'm really surprised by that pace. And then it disintegrates itself in sector 3, the Ferrari I mean. Why do I have 3 purple sectors when I lost a position? I had a better run this time. Should I return the favor? Ah, he's defending. Not enough. Oh no. I remember. I remember now. That's what both Corvette and Cadillac do. That's kind of some like US thing or something. It just locks up like crazy. And the real road on the inside is worse. So, alright. Copy, copy. That's where I spun the Porsche last time. Oh. Two illegal passes. Seriously. Come on, overtake me. Well, this is heating up. Ah. Okay, just touched him slightly. Should be fine. Those illegal overtakes. I mean, I guess I was off track marginally, so fair enough, but quite brutal. Yeah, Daniela, I guess it's AI generated rubber, right? Ah, he's giving the correct car the tow. This hairpin is so weird. It's so wide, but it's so beneficial to be on the inside. Oh. Not just the... Ooh. I wanted to say it's not just the Cadillac that locks up, but at some point my mirror became very dark. Or actually very green. He was close to killing me. Oh, okay, let's take that opportunity. Take the place back. Okay, well, now we have what? 10 laps? 11 laps and 4 seconds. Push, push. Not like that. Oof, well, okay. I'm safe from behind, but that was hectic. I can still feel that lockup in my FFB. Yeah, George, well, it's really good, and it's not excessive. It's kind of spot on to some extent. I'm really looking forward to how ABS is going to be implemented. If it's copy-paste from RF2, then it will be beneficial to run quite high values. Oh! He's spitting! What happened there? Oh well. If I don't bin it myself in turn 1, that should be a clean cruise to the end. What did I want to say? If ABS is like an RF2, then we will run like quite high values, but it will disallow us from rotating in hairpins. So I think in RF2 like 11 or like 10 to 12 is max, and normally good values like around 9 or 10, but for hairpins you could go down to like 6 or 7, otherwise it will not rotate with the rear. Although RF2, well, RF2 is very slip angle-y, if that's a word, and LMU doesn't like big slip angles at all in the hairpins. It still likes a little bit, but probably it will not be necessary to have too much of reduction of ABS to allow it to rotate more. So it should be quite nice to drive those GT cars. GT3 cars. Because on GTEs, I mean, it's kind of a nice challenge to not have ABS but just drive to the limit of the grip yourself. But at the same time, that's alright in high downforce cars with solid suspension, but on GTEs, which kind of wobble around a little bit, it's more difficult to predict when it's gonna snatch and lock up. ABS should be something between ACC and iRacing. Yeah, I guess. DT for content, yeah, so you mean Niles is going for last to first challenge? Ooh, double upshift, uh-oh. I thought I had the filtering on. Have to double check it. The what's it called in RF2 menu? Shift protection. Oh, now it's called repeat shifts. I still feel the rumbling from the lockup so much. Funnily, I feel it more when the locked up tire is loaded less. In the freezer, what do you mean if I'm alone? I'm alone in the voice, like I'm not in a voice chat with anybody. Or I have not agreed with anybody to race together. I just counted on people being there in the system. Well, don't see anybody behind me, you mean... Well, there is a Porsche behind me. But I'm trying my best for it to disappear. And Pedro, I guess LMU could indeed have the best GT3s all around sim racing. RF2 kind of tried its best to have good GT3s, but they're good only when the tires are very worn. Like if you have worn hards, then it feels believable. Otherwise it's still too balloony and too drifty. And then ACC is alright, but the tires are way too stiff. And iRacing is on the tire model from 2001 or something. Yeah, in the freezer, maybe I can agree with you. If you're like a new guy to sim racing and you try to handle these hypercars, it's very difficult. It's not just pick up and drive. Well, it can be, but you need to be so much under the limit while you're still learning how to drive or handle it, that it just... it takes some time. You need to be ready to invest some time to understand how the systems work. But well, to me personally, the hypercars have been like the main selling point. Because it's the only game that actually, or the only sim that actually simulates them properly with the hybrid. I'm scared of the rear on this car. I'm just waiting for it to over-rotate. I mean, 5.2 is alright of a lap time. What is going on? I broke early. I didn't lock up. At some point the rear just exploded. Here it's fine, but in low speed it... I don't know. Yeah, Joao, well, I tried my paint skills. I think it came out quite nicely. Yeah, and Hachemi, exactly. Not an easy class of cars at all. I mean, I would assume that maybe the Porsche and the Ferrari, maybe the Toyota, like the cars that have been in development for longer, are quite nice to drive. But then looking at some other cars, it's quite a struggle. But it's nice seeing them on the limit and locking up and wobbling around and trying to find the limit. iRacing has a tire model from 1970. Sometimes it really feels like that. I mean, the lockups feel like they have been programmed by, I don't know, by some intern in the 1980s that didn't really understand what a lockup is, or how a lockup starts and how it ends. And I still think maybe the tire model of iRacing is actually not that bad, but it's just the temperatures, just the temperature response that completely blocks it, because you're just overall limited just by the temperatures. To my understanding, I mean, I am not iRacing professional at all. I don't have really much experience. I have like 3.3k I rating from a couple of races that I've done, but it just feels like you are not driving to the limit of the tire, but because the tire could handle more energy, like it would still keep gripping, but it doesn't, because it just melts instantly. But they are reluctant to relax those limits and to make it be able to accept a bit more load, or to handle slightly higher peak temps. Yeah, Daniela, I don't know. I will have more to say next week, because I'll be spending the whole week on the AMG GT3 on iRacing at Indy, trying to make esports lap times. No snap this time in turn 1, nice, and the Delta is very happy with that. Oh, P2 spun. Alright, well, now I am actually alone. Ay, ay, ay. I don't know, this slip out of the hairpin. Again, I don't think it's the TC cut problem. I'm putting it to 3 anyway, just in case. And surely this was about the rear lockup. I think I might be just overall demanding too much from the tires in LMU here. Just going too deep into them. And then they still offer quite some grip, but they overheat a bit. Like just gently going into here, turning in late. Seems very fast. And if I try to go fast into the apex, the car just disintegrates. That's not a cut, interesting. But this car is exactly the opposite of the BMW. Here you just have to keep trail braking a bit, and it will just have infinite rotation. But with BMW it's exactly the opposite. And that's really good to see, because, well, in iRacing, let's say, I believe every single car has the same trait. You just have to stick on the throttle, and then it will keep turning into a corner. Sorry, you have to keep braking into a corner, and it will keep rotating. Just because of the overall physics. But here you can make it depend on the car. Some cars like trail braking, some cars don't. And LMU simulates that perfectly. Two laps to go. No, that's gonna be actually 1 lap to go. Yeah, Daniele, exactly. And this car feels kind of like that. Ah, that was a lockup. That was a lockup. That was nothing else but a lockup. And now I keep moving brake bias to the front, but, well, some laps ago I had a monumental front lockup. But yeah. Yeah, be either on throttle or brake. And then like ACC is all about coasting, right? just going into a corner and brake a lot, but then when you're at the apex, just rotate, neither on brake nor on the throttle. And then we have RF2 with some big slip angle tires where it doesn't really matter what you're doing as long as you're sideways enough. And then we have LMU, which is kind of the good of all aspects. I don't know, it's difficult, but it's really good. Anyway, as we're completing this last lap, I guess we will all be running to the F1 streams very soon. In LMU it's car dependent, yeah, which is nice, like you can make it whatever you want. Well, they can make it whatever they want, the devs, because no modding. But either way. Yeah, Daniele. Yeah. As long as the front can accept a bit more balance. Either way, we are all running to the F1 live streams, so thank you guys a lot for watching. I'll quickly just look at the replay and the DR and SR and so on. Otherwise, I will stream on Monday Monza Oval Pizza Party. I hope we will have a good amount of subs in the servers. I have crossed the line, right? It's back. If you're understeering, letting go of the brakes makes the car turn better. Yeah, I mean, it depends on... again, it depends. If you brake more, if the tires can accept it, it's gonna put the car more on the nose and it's gonna rotate better on some cars. On some other cars, the front cannot accept it anymore. So it just locks up and kills the rotation. Sprint starting soon, indeed. Well, again, thank you a lot for watching, for the chatting. It was a bit all over the place, but there was still some nice racing. So if you're leaving, thank you again. But if you're not, I'm gonna keep streaming until this things gives me a online option to actually check my races. Yeah, create account. I will not be creating an account. I will be exiting to desktop and reloading it. Off to F1. See you guys. Well, I'm still hoping to make this work. And the music on. Please work. There you go. How much DR have we gained today? And these servers have some issues today. It won't work, right? I guess next time. Yeah, running off to F1 here as well. If you're still here, thank you again for staying further 2 minutes. Otherwise, see you on Monday. Bye bye.